Konnichiwa. See my glasses fogging up? That's me panicking in real time. My laptop battery was almost flat. I couldn't plug in my microphones. I couldn't even record the call properly. And in about 2 minutes, I was about to find out something that I'd wanted to know for a long time. Could I actually hold a conversation in Japanese? I often film videos in Japanese language, but those videos are different. I write them, I practice them, and when I stuff it up, I re-record, and I'm also editing my sentences together to make them sound more smooth. But a conversation? That's different. You don't know what's coming next, you can't prepare for it, and you can't press pause. So I asked my Japanese subscriber audience recently if anyone would be willing to chat with me online. A subscriber volunteered, and 2 days later, this was the result.
ご意見はどうでしたか？
よかったですよ。周りのところいろいろ行ってみて、綺麗なところです。
なるほどね。
三国町の東寺、永平寺とか、
はい、
自然の多いところですよね。でもニュージーランドから来て、大きな都市みたいですね。
あ、そうか。
Did you notice what happened there? I described Fukui as a place with a lot of nature, which is true. But I realised in my conversation with Okazaki-san that I hadn't even scratched the surface. Yes, it was a beautiful place, but I remember what it felt like to walk under the cherry blossom trees on my way to work. I remember what it felt like in winter time to be on the rooftop of the hotel where I lived. Overnight, it went from a concrete jungle one day to a city blanketed in snow the next. And standing there on the rooftop, I was watching this magical place that was suddenly so calm and quiet. I remember what it felt like to explore the city at night time with my friends and go to local pubs or izakaya. And during the weekends, going on little trips on tiny local trains to places like Tojimbo, visiting the haunted island, and seeing beautiful temples like Eiheiji. Like, that has to be the most epic temple I have visited to this point. And I've since visited many places in Japan. Fukui is also the place where I have my best food memory. I had pork broth soup, or tonjiru, at a local festival in Mikunicho, where I watched people making mochi. Have you ever seen that? It's when they have the hot steamed rice on a stump, a carved out stump, and two people take turns at pounding it with mallets until it becomes jelly-like. It's incredible to watch. And when Okazaki-san asked me what was Fukui like, I had all of those memories in my head, but all I could come out with in Japanese was, oh, it was a beautiful place with a lot of nature. And that's when I realized something. I was struggling to tell my own story.
日本人とね、日本語でこのコミュニケーション、何が一番大変でしたか？
多分、一つの言葉がわからなかったら、多分頭が疲れたら全部わからない。
あ、そうか。
そういうこと？
He asked me what I found hardest about speaking Japanese, and my answer surprised me. I remember the feeling of having a conversation with somebody and suddenly they say one word that you don't know and your brain stops. And suddenly every sentence after that just disappears and you stop being able to understand anything that's happening. Maybe you've experienced that too. It isn't that you don't know the language. It's just that missing one word makes a lot of what comes next in a conversation disappear. It feels less like a gap and more like a wall. So, what did I learn from this experiment? Well, the good thing is that I understood almost everything that we talked about. That made me happy because after 26 years not speaking the language, I felt relieved. I did have conversational Japanese still in me, and I could carry out a conversation if I ever met somebody on the street, which is rare in New Zealand, but still, if I had that opportunity, I know I could hold a conversation, and yeah, that felt good. But I also learned something important. I answer slowly, and I naturally reach for simple words. And there are topics that I haven't practiced talking about in 26 years, especially describing my own experiences, places I've been to, what I felt, and explaining why somewhere mattered to me. And those are all skills. Before this conversation, my Japanese felt like one big question mark. Now it doesn't. Now I know exactly what I want to learn next. Honestly, I'm glad I did this. It was scary going in, but now that I've had time to sit with it, I can see exactly where the gaps are in my Japanese, and having this conversation was the most real thing that I've felt so far doing this channel.
で、このインターネットちょっとめんどくさいです。
そうですよね。
ね。トラブルが多い。
そうですね。今日は初めて Google Meet を使って。The person I spoke with is Okazaki-san from Learn Japanese Nihongo K. He teaches Japanese to people online all over the world. And these tend not to be people who are learning Japanese for the purpose of passing an exam or getting their work visa or something like that, but more for their own personal goals. He hosts a lot of English-Japanese online conversations, just like the one that we had. If that sounds interesting to you, I've put his details in the description below.